Good morning, everyone. It is cold in the studio this morning, but I've been wanting to make a video about how I make these spouts for a while. I did one years and years ago, and it's old, and I think it was upside down or something because I didn't know how to photograph on my camera. But so I'm going to do it right today, hopefully. So what I'm doing today, I'm making spouts, and I'm making these spouted bowls, and hopefully you can see that. Let's see here. So these are really easy, and they're a type of spout that is unique to this particular area. You just grab a ball of clay, roll it up. You can go with a perfectly round piece. I like to roll it out into a slightly oblong, or whatever you would call that piece. Set it on the table. Squish it down with your thumb. Spread it out just a little bit. Leave the edges fat. The two sides stay fat. The middle gets squished out. Kind of compress the side that's going to be your pouring surface. Pick it up, put it in the palm of your hand, and kind of squeeze it into your palm to create that curve for the spout. And because today, I wouldn't normally do this, but today my pots have gotten a little dry overnight because it was really cold and the air is really dry. They're a little more stiff than I would normally like, but I don't normally use slip to attach these. I'll just use water or something like that, but today I'm going to scratch and slip because everything is a little more sketchy. So I'm going to put it up here just to see where it would go, probably about here. And the slip left a little line, so that gives me a little guide of where to do my scratches. And just press it on here. Work it in. It's not as necessary if you're going softer clay to softer clay, but today we're going softer clay into a harder one, so I'm working it in a little bit to get everything worked into those scratches I made. And then here's the main thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to attach it. Now it's attached. Now that it's attached, you want to create your pouring area, and this is my style of doing it. I don't know how other people do it, and I know a long time ago they didn't do it much because the surface was actually rounded over. They really didn't spend time on it. But I want to make a surface that is going to be pouring well, so I wet my fingers just slightly, dampen, because it's so thin. If you touch it with dry fingers, it'll start cracking. And the clay that I'm using usually is really short clay, so you can't stretch it at this point. What I'm doing here is I'm pinching it in and down to get that lip to turn over, and then pressing a bit to get it down there like that. And this one actually did end up cracking a bit anyway, but that'll be okay. I'm pretty sure it'll pour right because those little cracks, if they don't open up, and they usually don't, the glaze will fill those right up and they'll be fine. And that's it. Then once the spout is on, and this is pro tip here, and you don't see many people doing it like this, you're going to cut the spout from the exterior to the interior, not the other way around. Naturally, you're going to want to be careful not to move or damage the spout that you've just attached. Why? Why would you do it like that? It's so much more difficult. Well, if you cut this hole before you attach the spout, which a lot of people do, they'll just go, you know, and give it a little round cut or something like that. You end up with these non-continuous surfaces. So when you attach the spout and then cut from the outside, you're creating a nice angle here and a continuous surface for not only for the water or tea to pour from, but it's also visually continuous and nicer that way. So anyway, that's my recommendation. You don't have to do it, but I find that it works really well. And it's a trick that I picked up from looking at old pots. I found a few old Karatsu spouted bowls like this that had that type of cut in them, and it just looks so much better than cutting a hole out and then putting the spout over it in a haphazard fashion. Just my opinion. I'm sure everybody has an opinion about it. That one's mine. And mine is worth no more, no less than most other people's. And here goes the next one. Let's see here. Just do one more here. I'm going to try and zoom in on this when I edit the video, so that, because I have this feeling you're a little far away, but we'll hopefully get something that's viewable. Just clean up the inside of that a bit. It makes it easier than cleaning it up later after it's dry. And done. And then I'll trim these. The spout's on, they're not trimmed yet. I'll trim the feet once they get a little bit more firm, and I'm able to do that. Okay. That's it. I hope you found it interesting, and see you next time.